Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Live on Marion J08, we are playing Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. We are finally getting to cover this game, which seems like forever, as this came out, well, what was it, pretty much early in the year, right? One of the first major Wii U games of the year. I absolutely cannot wait to play this. I'm so glad I'm playing it with you guys live. Now, what's pretty neat about this actually was one of my, even though I had planned on this for a long time, this was one of the games that was in my straw poll. I've been using that straw poll program for everything. It's really nice, it's convenient, it's easy to set up. I can interact with you guys can give me your input because, a lot on this channel is, of course up to you guys too. You have a lot of say in it. And you guys picked this one. Now basically what will happen is that the games that were in the poll will roll over to the next playthrough, which I actually already started a straw poll for. I believe it was Infamous Second Son, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, and Thief. It looks like so far, the next poll is of course not done yet, but so far it looks like Thief is winning on my next straw poll. I'll be relinking links again so you guys could keep voting. But this one is the last one that won, and we are covering it. And trying to actually push a little bit more playthroughs than I usually do while we have some time, because once September hits, it is the hardcore gaming season. And of course, we have so much coming as far as AAA and indies. So I said, let's start Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze because, this has been requested and I've kind of been putting it off because of other things. So I knew it was now or never. So what are my thoughts on this upcoming playthrough? Well, as you can see, we have a couple sub art here that was submitted to me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys always have me in stitches with your sub art. You guys always like to bust on me, and I see everybody having fun with them. That's what it's all about. That's great. We take nothing serious here. This is a fun channel. We go back and play stuff from years ago, from months ago. It's not always the newest stuff here. That's what's awesome about my channel. It's laid back. We play older stuff, new stuff, release day stuff, retro stuff. Anything goes on this channel. Anything from AAA to indie, whatever system, everything. Anything that has to do with a video game, basically. And I'm a big fan of Nintendo. Everybody knows that. I'm a huge fan. I am trying to cover more Nintendo games on here. We've been doing our Blast from the Past, our Summer Retro series. But I have a long history with Donkey Kong Country, and I absolutely loved it when it first came out on the SNES. I bought every one. And the last one that I played was actually on the Wii. And I actually recently got that same game, Donkey Kong Country 3D Returns, on my 3DS. It was actually given to me for free from Nintendo, as it was one of the options for my reaching platinum status. And you know what? I didn't own it, the hard copy, so I said, why not? It was the most expensive game in the list. That's pretty much what I based it on, because everything else was like $5-10. And I saw this in the list of, options to download for platinum status, and I said, done. But other than that, this has not been a game that I've really played in a long time, and I've heard that this one's quite hard, as, the Donkey Kong Country games have been known for. They're a bit of a challenge. They're pretty technical platformers, but beautiful, and I'm actually super excited because, A, I've never seen a Donkey Kong Country in HD before on the Wii U, and I've also now adopted direct capture, so this is going to look sick. So I'm looking forward to this playthrough. This is going to be fun. I think this is going to be a little bit of a, nothing serious, a fun. We're going to have some laughs probably. We're going to have some epic fails. We're going to have some rage, I'm sure. When it comes to me playing a playthrough, I'm not going to lie, you're going to probably definitely see rage, and it's going to be hilarity for sure. And I think that's why a lot of people want me to play this. They just want to poke fun and get a bit of a giggle, you know what I mean? And I don't blame them. I've kind of had a history with that when it came to platformers, especially Nintendo. But I can't wait to check out these worlds. I can't wait to check out the graphics. It looks stunning. I'm sure the Wii U is going to hold no punches when it comes to this game. Is already beautiful. It was beautiful on the SNES. It was gorgeous on the Wii. So just imagine on the Wii U. And we got quite a few people joining the stream. Welcome, welcome new viewers, welcome returning viewers. I see a little bit of a mix from both. That's awesome. This is a good time of year because this is when the releases start actually finally coming in. We're close to September. We're close to the hardcore gaming season. It's going to pick up from there and get absolutely hectic. I can't wait to check out all these upcoming indies as well. We just finished Gamescom. Hope everybody got a chance to check that out. I've been watching it for, a few days straight. Watched the whole coverage. Super pumped about games coming out. Super pumped about games coming out next year. I love Gamescom. It was an awesome conference. It was on par with E3 in my opinion. They showed off some great stuff, and it's got me excited. And that's what I do here on this channel, so, it means a lot to me because it tells me what I'm going to be covering in the future. And there's so many games I want to get just from watching Gamescom and E3 this year. But there's a lot of games that we knew were coming, but they're coming along. And there was a big indie push on Gamescom, and I think that was awesome. Because there was a lot of indie games that they showed that I didn't even know about. So now I know. So it's going to be a good gaming year for the rest of this year. It's going to be a good gaming season. Looking forward to it. And of course on Murray and J we always go back and play older stuff too. So in between the new releases, we're still going to be playing stuff like this. So there's never nothing not to play on this channel. There's always something going on here. We can never run out of stuff, basically, with this channel, which is why I like it so much. And the subs, the subscribers and viewers seem to love that too, so that's why we keep this going. And I like to go back and forth. And we just checked out it's called a PT, playable teaser, which we later found out was a teaser demo for an upcoming Silent Hill game dubbed Silent Hills. And believe it or not, it is being made by Hideo Kojima of Metal Gear Solid series, which also blew my mind. And I know they said that the teaser was not a representation of the final game when it comes out. It was just a game made solely to reveal Silent Hills. But I thought they did a good job, and it's interesting too because a lot of people were waiting for my next pre-stream because they figured I would be talking about it because I didn't really lay a lot of my thoughts out. They want to know what I thought of it. Here's what I thought of it. The graphics were absolutely mind-blowing. I don't know what kind of graphical engine Kojima used or but the game looked insane. It had some kind of like a motion blur effect. You were walking down the hallway. Of course, it was only like a few rooms, a few hallways. The entire demo, the entire game was based in one area. And I don't know how he did it, but you want to talk about scary as hell, I will give him that. And you could tell from if you watch my playthrough, I was not faking it. That was live. That was on stream. I was scared shitless. The game got me quite a few times. The game definitely was going to scare you, and I think in that way it exceeded. The only problem was that, and I have absolutely no problems with a hard game, and I don't fault a game for being hard, like Dark Souls or a platformer. I think games should be like that, like the old school games were. There's nothing wrong with that, but this was beyond that. This wasn't so much it was hard, it was cryptic. I mean, people actually use that word. Some of the things that you had to do to complete this teaser were absolutely uncalled for, and I never even finished it on stream. I got to like the last minute and I gave up because everybody said, Sean, we know you're not trying to cheat, you're not really into the stream chat. I gotta tell you, there were some things that I just couldn't possibly know on my own. For example, I'll give you an example. I'll give you two examples. The first one was you had to find pictures to put a picture frame back together. And some of the pieces were really hard to find, but I did find them. One was under the stairs, one was up in a ceiling corner. That's all good and dandy. But the last piece, I couldn't find. You know where it was? Somebody in the stream chat said you have to go into the pause menu, right? Highlight a certain menu, and then hold the R3 button down. what the hell? And I did it just as a joke, and it actually worked. And I'm like, no. And then supposedly I found this way after. Somebody says, I'll show you what you had to do. You would have finished it. I said, okay. Something about a baby laughing. The only way to actually interact with the baby is to actually have a microphone hooked up, and you had to talk and say certain phrases into the mic. How on earth would you know to do that? So that's what I mean by cryptic. There's hard and there's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's almost like you don't want the people to know what your teaser's about. And, luckily we're in an age where we have YouTube and these big game mainstream media outlets that blew the cover within hours of the game. I mean, told everybody, well, it's Silent Hills. Of course, I would have been more upset if I didn't know what the teaser was about, but, the cat was out of the bag already if somebody spilled the beans. So, but just imagine if you didn't know. You would have been screwed. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, so pretty much the short of it is that Hideo Kojima is working on a Silent Hill game. Pretty neat. Excited about it. Hey, I gotta be honest with you. If the Silent Hill game was just like the teaser, without the cryptic puzzles, the game would be, I would give them my $60 right now. And I know, Silent Hill is known for that kind of puzzles, but not like this. This was, I had a couple people, morons, saying, oh my God, Sean, I thought you were against Stream Chat, giving you answers. There's no way to know. And the only reason why they knew, they even told me, was because we found out. People told us. You don't know that. Oh, yes, I figured it out. I have to go into the pause button, and I have to hit the L3 button. No. No. You wouldn't know that. Oh, yeah, I have to hook up a mic and have to say, hello, Lisa, or whatever it was, to the baby to get a response. No. No, you wouldn't know that. Come on. You're not supposed to know that. It was made to troll you. I don't know. But it is what it is. You can definitely check out the coverage on my channel. I am looking forward to the Silent Hill game. The only other elephant in the room that I want to do, if I'm talking about updated news, we have to address the elephant in the room before I go off here, that I'm going to go right into Donkey Kong Country gameplay, because I know you guys are waiting. The stream is well built up. As much as I expect for this game, since it's been out a long time. But I understand a lot of these are my viewers, probably that voted for the poll, I'm sure. The one last thing is, you knew it was coming. Just, I want to put my 2 cents in, because people have been asking me, is Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, coming out holiday of next year. Now, here's what it is. I'm going to sum it up real fast, because I don't want to dwell on this. But I will tell you what I think. They announced it as an Xbox exclusive. That's all they said. Okay? An Xbox exclusive. First of all, people went in a rage because they said exclusive without nothing else. They didn't say timed exclusive. There's the polar opposite. Timed exclusive. They didn't say that. They says, well, they were very smart with their wording. They said an Xbox exclusive for the holiday, meaning that period. Now, what's real interesting is that people really blew off the wrong shoulder, because you think of Tomb Raider, even though it is cross-platform now, you do think of it as a PlayStation franchise. I bought Definitive Edition on the PlayStation, and actually all the versions of Tomb Raider that I have are on the PlayStation, even though back in the day, when it originally came out, I played it on the PC. I used to build PCs just to play it. But as far as consoles, people think of PlayStation, and I do too. So this really blew people off. Like, man, Microsoft must have paid them big time. We later found out through talking with Microsoft that it was a timed exclusive, but they don't say that. So it is eventually coming out on other platforms, supposedly. Okay? And I know a lot of these big, mainstream media outlets were saying, oh, it's no big deal. Well, those morons probably have every system. What about, and I do too. So, you're right. It doesn't affect me as much, even though I prefer it on PlayStation. I'll buy it on Xbox One because I have both systems. What about the people that don't? That's not fair to them. I don't have a problem with exclusives. I actually think exclusives are great, and I love exclusives, but timed exclusives, not so much. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. A game, it's either exclusive or not, in my opinion. Okay? Because timed exclusives screw the other customers. By the time it comes out on PlayStation, they're not even going to care about it because they've seen it already or played it already. Or it's going to be such an older game that the sales are going to be terrible. So, like, what the hell? It's shitting on Sony and vice versa on Microsoft. Same with timed exclusive DLC, like Call of Duty is considered a Microsoft game. It's on both platforms, but Microsoft gets all the Call of Duty perks first in DLC. It's silly. Why would a company, unless you're first party, then you have to, but why would a third-party company have timed exclusives? Third-party companies could have, exclusives on a system, like Naughty Dog, but why would you have a timed exclusive? You're hurting your consumer base and your sales, in my opinion. I don't know. That's my opinion. And it's interesting, and I think this is the reason why they never say timed exclusive first. They say exclusive. You know why? Because my theory is that when you finally do find out that it is a timed exclusive, the people aren't as sad. Because here's what I've heard from people. When they first said exclusive, all the Sony guys were shitting their pants like, I can't believe I'm not going to be able to play the newest Tomb Raider, and I own a PlayStation. What the fuck? And then later when they found out, when they looked deeper and deeper and read through the lines, they said, oh no, it's a timed exclusive. Then the Sony guys were like, well, that's a relief. Better late than never. So it's like they're getting shitted on, but they're not realizing it as much because then they find out, oh shoot, it is coming here just a little later. And they're not as mad. That's why I think they do it. They fool the people. But you still should be just as mad. Yeah, you're going to get it. And how long are you... What is it going to be? 6 months? 7 months? A year? Same thing with Plants vs. Zombies. And PlayStation's now just getting that. That's ridiculous. Been there, done that. So, I don't know. It's a 50-50 thing. There's people that don't mind timed exclusives. There's people that do. I don't know what the point is. I mean, I understand the point for Microsoft or for Sony, the first party publishers, but the consumer gets screwed because not everybody has every system. These morons that I saw in the mainstream media were saying, oh, it's not a big deal, because you own every system. When it comes out, you have an Xbox One, so you're going to go and get it on Xbox One. You're not going to say, I'm going to stay true to Sony. I'm going to wait a year or 8 months or whatever and buy it on PS4. No. Especially if you're a die-hard Tomb Raider fan, you're going to buy it on whatever system that you own. And maybe this is a ploy to say, oh, well, you better buy our system. That's very possible, too. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if there's fucking real, true, die-hard Tomb Raider fans that may buy an Xbox One for that reason. Some of these people are true blue. And I'm sure they know that, and I'm sure that's really one of the reasons why they're doing this. Same with Call of Duty. Same with, a lot of times, it's interesting. I find it so interesting, too, on the other spectrum, is that these cross-platform games are coming out on both systems, some of them at the same exact time. They're not timed exclusives, but when they're advertised on television or YouTube ads, they're only advertised for one system. It's like Destiny. You never hear about Xbox One when Destiny's advertised. It's PS4 because they're getting the exclusives, they're getting the extra content, but you don't even see, also on Xbox One. It's all PS4. Diablo 3, the Ultimate Evil Edition, same thing. Get it now on PS4. Get it now on PS4. It's interesting. It's like they're getting paid from, Sony or Microsoft, and that's what they're advertising for. And maybe these people that really aren't up on stuff like we are don't know that and thought, well, shit, I can't get that. I have an Xbox One. Meanwhile, one day when they're in the store, they're going to see it for Xbox One, and they're going to say, I didn't know this was advertised for this system. I didn't know it was out for this system. It's kind of interesting. It's all marketing. Basically, that's what it is. It's marketing. But that's my thoughts, And I understand that people that only have a PlayStation would be extremely upset with Tomb Raider, especially a franchise that they expect to be on a Sony platform. Ridiculous. And I don't know why these companies have to, on top of that, to add insult to injury, why do they have to be so unclear? Why can't you tell your consumers it is a exclusive? Or, no, it is a timed exclusive. Oh, well, we said it was an exclusive for the holiday 2015 because it is. Because after the holiday, then it's coming out on PS4. Well, say that. Say that. Don't you want your game to be sold to as many customers as you can? You know? Marketing all comes back to that. Same with timed exclusive DLC. It's very silly in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with exclusives. I love exclusives, but have it exclusive or not. Timed exclusive is kind of like in the middle. Well, we're not exclusive, but we're timed exclusive. So you'll get the game, but you'll get it a year later. Unbelievable. It's ridiculous what it's come to. Thank you for joining me, everybody. We are going to go into Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which will be barrels of fun. Thank you for joining me, and thanks again for this awesome sub art. Let the playthrough begin.